In today's latest news, I think we have to discuss and focus on the latest updates around both ENZO FERNANDEZ and our move to sign Malo. We discussed the latest reports, and on top of this, we talked Thiago Silva as he is set to receive a contract extension. So we have a ton of things to break down and discuss. We have a few more days left until January ends, and as we all know, this is the final moment of opportunity to continue to exploit FFP to help rebuild this squad as quickly as possible. Can we get these amazing deals done in time? Let's hope so, my friends. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, if you're happy to see my face again today, then please hit that like button. Let's get 2,500 likes. But before we get into anything, I need to make an announcement, and currently I need you guys' help. Now today's video comes courtesy of Football Game. What separates Football Game from other football competitors is the fact that every player you see in a team is created by an actual real player. Football Game allows you to create your very own custom football avatar where you pick and choose the position you want your avatar to play in. You boost and improve his skills and stats, and most importantly, you can find the right in-game items to take your player's game to an even higher level. As you guys see here, each item has its own individual stat boosters, and right now a new server has launched. This brings such as game sounds, voice match commentary, a new revamped club module, plus many other exciting quality of life features as well. Now currently, my friends, I'm calling for your help. You guys can see the positions that are needed in this team, and there'll be a link below in the description for you guys to try and sign up so I can accept you. Right now I need 11 more players, so what you guys waiting for? Come and help me out, and let's try and bring some Graham Potter to real life. Or maybe not this season Graham Potter, but hopefully future season Graham Potter. I'm starting my own club rebuild of myself, yeah? So what you guys waiting for? Download Football Game. You'll find a link below in the description and in the top comment too. So right now, let's start with the first story and let's discuss Thiago Silva receiving a contract extension. Now, this is pretty big news. This news has been confirmed by The Athletic as well as the Evening Standard, and basically we are looking to offer Thiago Silva another 12-month extension because his existing deal expires come the end of the summer. Now at 38 years old, this is a massive sign of respect and confidence and faith shown in Thiago Silva, who, you know, this has been a very mediocre season, but I don't think Thiago Silva has been mediocre whatsoever, and personally, if this guy wasn't in our defense, I kind of feel like we'd be conceding a lot more goals. So this is the best thing to do. But at the same time, I really respect Thiago Silva. It's a real privilege to have like one of the generation's best defenders, in my opinion, playing for us. And in terms of the quality and the way he plays, he's a real league in his own, and it's a bit surprising to me actually that he doesn't have like a high enough reputation in this country, because he's one of the best centre-backs currently in the Premier League. Anyway, his family is very settled here. His kids go to school here, and of course his wife is a massive supporter as well too, so he has incredible like stability and foundations in the family. I think we all like him as a fan base as well too, and to be fair, I think this is the best thing this squad needs. We need some experience here. Most importantly, these young centre-backs can learn many things from Thiago Silva. This is a real privilege to learn under him and get mentored by him, and I like that this detail is actually being considered. You need to have like a fair balance of experience in your team, and I think if that comes from Azpi and Thiago Silva, that's going to complement the youthful feeling around the club right now. So I'm more than happy with this. Thiago Silva absolutely deserves it, and to be fair, I'm kind of hoping that this guy stays there until he's 40 years old. I think that would just be like a massive achievement. So right now, let's move on and let's discuss these latest updates around our efforts to sign Malo. Now, a lot of things have taken place over the past 24 hours. Reports in France are suggesting the fact that there's great confidence now that we can actually tie this deal up and sign Gusto before this month ends, and for me, that's all the news I need to hear. Reports and updates have come out suggesting that Graham Potter has held direct conversation with Gusto himself, giving the player reassurance behind his minutes, you know, making him feel valued, making him feel important, and of course, offering him a 6.5-year contract as well too. Now, just to clarify, I want to discuss the initial talks that have taken place over the past 24 hours. We do have more updates as I continue on with this video. Now, we got some information behind some of the proposals that Lyon themselves have been making, and essentially they asked if it's possible, of course, to keep Gusto here until the end of the season before he moves to us in the following window. Now, my initial thought was it kind of defeats the point of signing a right back now, because we do need some competition in place because of Reece James. If there are any hopes to get Champions League football, it makes sense to bring in competition right now, because if Reece James broke down again, which may not be impossible to consider, we need to have great backup ready to take place to maintain the momentum in this team. However, there have been some conflicting reports from journalists that came out like half an hour ago, suggesting that we could possibly even consider and entertain allowing Gusto to remain at Lyon until the end of the season. I get it, but at the same time, I also understand that if the main strategy for this window is to exploit FFP, this is the final time to do so. So as long as we can secure the target we want, and then if he signs for us in like 5-6 months time, at least we're getting ready for next season, and we're gonna have a real strong pre-season with all the new guys being integrated and coming very early to this football team. So let's see what happens with that one. But let's continue on and discuss updates. We learned that Man United came into contact with Gusto themselves to try and defer the player from signing for us. Now, ideally, Man United were hoping to sign him in the following window. He is one of their main right-back candidates, but the reality simply is he only wants to sign for us. Now, for Malo Gusto, he sees this as an incredible opportunity to gain more exposure. More exposure with Didier Deschamps, more exposure to announce himself in the French national team squad, because they don't have that number one right-back, and this is a position that Gusto could be the crowning guy for the next decade. At the same time, there is an opportunity to play Champions League football for this season, and naturally earning more money on top as well too. Happy days for everyone. So the first bid has been rejected, and we learned that this was around 17 to 80 million pounds, so it was like 20 million euros. But it has been reported that we are going to come back with an increased offer that's going to range between 30 to 40 million euros, which is around like 25 to like 35 million pounds. So I think that's a pretty fair offer. There's only so much realistically that Lyon can demand, and things aren't working out for them because they can't even persuade the player to remain here, because he has his hopes and desires set on signing for us now. I think Gusto is going to be the guy we need as competition for the right back area. I know that a lot of us wanted to see Livramento, but as I explained before, he's come back from injury, he needs more time, and we need someone for right now. And I think this is a very fair amount of money to sign Gusto for. I'm really excited to see what he does. So you guys know I've been gassed about his ball progression skills. I think that is such an important facet that is needed. We need strong quality competition. We have that now down the left hand side. It's up to Cucurella to raise his game. He's had difficulties, and of course Chilwell's set to come back as well. To have that quality match on the right hand side with Reece James and Gusto, I think Graham Potter is building like the fantasy team at the moment right now, and honestly, I'll be doing a lot of research too behind how Todd Bowley improved the LA Dodgers, and how it took them like 2 years to turn around a club that was underperforming massively to become one of the best baseball teams in America. They offered the best contracts to sign the best players. They completely reshaped the model, and we were told prior by the LA Dodgers fans that, get excited for the next 10 years because these guys mean what they say, and you're going to see a huge turnaround. And honestly, we are witnessing this now in 4K with our own two eyes. So right now, my friends, let's end things by discussing one of the big updates we all want to understand what's happening with, and where are we currently with ENZO FERNANDEZ. Now, there've been many conflicting reports. Naturally, I'm going to try and make things simple. I'm going to break things down from Portuguese reports and reports coming out from the UK media as well too, because it seems like both parties are talking about completely different things. So I guess we start with the reports coming out from Portugal first, and they report that we have had an informal offer of around 100 million euros plus players included. I think that also again Ziyech plus loan players rejected by Benfica. Now that would be around 88 million pounds plus players, which is an increase on the 70 to 75 million that we first offered. This isn't the official offer though. We are still waiting for that, and that's going to come sometime later this week. Benfica remain adamant. If you want him, you must sign the full release clause, but the reason why we can't do that, even though technically we could afford to, is because we could fall foul of FFP laws in the Premier League and with Europe as well too. It's way too much money to lose in one go. It doesn't make sense, and it's not helpful that Benfica don't want to play ball, because they could be earning an incredible amount of money for a player that they literally signed for peanuts earlier this summer. But it does seem like they have their own ambitions. They want to win the Portuguese league. It's been a few seasons now, and after a very impressive start to the Champions League, they want to go as far as they humanly can in this season's competition. So I understand clubs have their own ambitions, we have to respect them, but I mean, come on. The valuation they're asking for is only because it comes after the World Cup, and this is January premium tax. In the summer, no club, that's no Barcelona, no Real Madrid, no anyone, will come in with the same offers we are coming with right now. So I guess we're still hoping for an opening in this deal to try and move things on now. Personally, I do think that some player sales right now could potentially give us some flexibility and some maneuverability. Let's hope that's the case. But reports in the UK are suggesting that there has been no official offer presented, only the fact that we held more informal talks last week secretly that no one knew about, and nothing's progressed right now. But as they also report to, we are expected to come in with something formal during this week. Now, ENZO FERNANDEZ obviously still wants to sign for us, he still wants to go, and it's quite interesting. Of course, naturally, during the start of this month, he was very vocal about wanting to leave and starting to cause some dissent with himself between him and Benfica fans, and right now he's keeping things a lot more cool and collected and becoming more respectful. But just because he's moving more respectful in these negotiations doesn't mean that we aren't, slowly manipulating things behind the scenes. We've been constantly talking with ENZO FERNANDEZ and his agent as well too. And through these talks, reports say that ENZO FERNANDEZ is ready to demand at least 2 million as a loyalty bonus from Benfica, because he feels he is entitled to this if Benfica block a move from him to sign for us. So there's a lot more subtle pressure behind the scenes. Benfica can't just ignore this money that easily, because at the end of the day, they're a selling club. They need to sell. Reports in Portugal, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, one of the Portuguese agents, one of the leaders when it comes to agents in Portugal, has been floating this idea that Benfica could potentially settle for less. And there's no guarantee proof of that. We're just trusting some guy's words, but he does have some clout in the game, and I just feel like something could still happen. But at the same time, I'm keeping things quite realistic, and I'm trying to think of things that entertain and satisfies each party. And I think potentially, as I think we're all kind of thinking as well too, I'm not trying to claim that this is a unique idea, but at least agreeing a pre-contract agreement for the summer, could that be the workaround to signing ENZO for less money, knowing the fact that he'll be coming to you in a few months' time? You've safeguarded your future and you can really start to build and get ready for next pre-season. I'd take that happily. I'd be more than happy with that. It's about the long game realistically, and obviously it would be an amazing bonus right now for ENZO to join up with the team, because if that's the case, I'm re-seeing the entirety of the season in completely different light, as well as the Champions League as well too. But realistically, it's important that we can sign our most expensive top tier options whilst we can continue to exploit FFP laws at this point in time, and hopefully that could be the bargaining tool which allows Benfica to settle for less money, knowing the fact that no club will be spending 106 million for ENZO next summer. It's not going to happen. In terms of other midfield options, it seems like Casado or Nana are still the other targets being looked at, but Arsenal still feeling very salty after they've lost both João Felix and Mudryk to us. And now it's reported that they're also showing some interest now and ready to fight us to sign either one of those mid targets. Now, we've been priced out of a move for Casado at this point in time, and Brian released a public statement essentially boiling down that, okay, Casado is set to remain and is only focused on Brighton. If you want to sign him, you have to offer over 70 million, which is way too much money for Casado right now. And Onana is a very interesting opportunity because it has been reported that him and Anthony Gordon haven't joined up with Everton training today. Anthony Gordon is close to signing for Newcastle. We could match our offer. I'm crossing and praying my fingers we don't, because I don't really see the need for him in this team anymore, and I think that's absolute overkill. But Onana is an interesting one. He is not the finished article at all, but Graham Potter is known to develop guys, playing with better players. Looking at some of his attributes, you could finesse someone quite powerful and quite dominating in that midfield, and he's only 20 or 21 years old. So let's see what happens in midfield, but things will slowly continue to progress. But in my opinion, I feel like the final offer will come within the next few days, or maybe at the end of the transfer window. We're going to find out. So my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit that like button and make sure you guys, of course, join my team on Football Game and use that link in the description, yeah? So I'm in EFC, this is Blue Line CV. Catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.